welcome to Queensland Weekender. Now, I can't think of a better feeling than the buzz you get when you arrive in a new city, especially when you touch down in tropical North Queensland. And here's the best part. I've got one whole week to explore and enjoy beautiful Mackay. One problem, what to do and where to begin. Luckily for me, someone's done all the legwork.
Welcome to Mackay, Sammy.
Thanks. Pick up 101 things to do in Mackay when you arrive. A local travel guide that's perfect for your pocket. It's filled with big ideas for making the most of this tropical city and its surrounds. Just 70 minutes flight from Brizzy. Now, mention Mackay and a few things spring to mind. Sugarcane, coal, and cracking beaches. 31 of them. But there's much more to discover. So I've ditched the bags at my hotel for a get-to-know-you stroll around the CBD. What you may not know about Mackay is its architectural history. For building buffs, the 101 list of things to do features some real surprises. Isn't this just beautiful? They say that Mackay has the biggest collection of Art Deco buildings in Queensland, and it's all thanks to a massive storm that struck here in 1918. That year, a cyclone flattened 80% of Mackay's buildings. Much of the town was rebuilt in the glamorous style of the 20s and 30s, and style can still be found everywhere. This little tea house and gift shop is one of my surprise discoveries from 101 Things to Do, but I just get the strangest feeling I've been here before. Deja Vu is filled with exquisite gifts, and the store also serves fancy high teas. Bet you didn't expect that in Mackay.
With a third of Australia's sugar, it's almost mandatory to have sugar in your tea up here.
I'm sharing scones with someone who knows the region and its 101 things to do better than most. Greg Williamson is a fifth-generation Mackay man, and he's the mayor. Well, Greg, cheers to Mackay.
Thank you for being here. It's great to have you here.
Do we put our pinkies out?
I don't know. I'm not real good at pinkies, I tell you.
Now, Greg, you have got a very, very long family history in Mackay. Tell me about that.
So my great-great-grandfather, which was Patrick McKenny, came out from County Tyrone in Ireland. He was a saddler by trade, and when the family got here, he was pretty young, but they ended up in Mackay in about 1865, which is about 3 years after the whole community, the European community, was founded. He was on the first council. He was an alderman on the first council.
So, what's Greg's suggestion for Mackay's 101 Things to Do?
You know, it's a tremendous area to visit. It's relaxed, it's a great lifestyle. But we've also got some tremendous festivals here that drag people in. In August, we've got things like Mackay, Wings and Wheels, which dragged about 15,000 people this year. You know? So it's an amalgamation of an air show and a car show. And then the Mackay Airport beach horse races, which is absolutely sensational. The equivalent of a Melbourne Cup on the beach, dressed up to their nines, walking down to the beach horse races with all their fascinators on and the best suits in their thongs.
Oh, yeah, I'm kidding. What else have you guys got on in Mackay?
Well, all of this whole lead-up starts to build up in July. We've got the Festival of Arts that runs in July with a day that attracts up to 20,000 people for the whole day.
Mackay's celebration of the arts marks 30 years this July, but no need to wait for the festival to get creative, just until sundown. Cane fire bursts into life at twilight, an artwork inspired by the seasonal sugarcane burn-off, and visitors can create their own fiery spectacle. All you need to do is log on to the Mackay City Centre website to program your very own light and mist effects using wireless technology. How about we start with Cool Blues? Let the show begin. After the break, we head to real sugarcane country and into the heart of Mackay's rainforest kingdom. It's absolutely amazing in here. I've explored downtown Mackay. Time for a country adventure. My 101 Things to Do guide is all over it, but it's worth dropping into the Visitor Information Centre for some friendly pointers.
Yeah, so there's just so much to do in this region. It really is. It's like a hidden gold mine.
Armed with great tips and a trusty map, I'm all set to explore. Alrighty, here are just a couple of my options for today. I could head southwest along the Peak Downs Highway, go for a horse ride at one of the local farm stays, tuck into a cannery at Nevo's Heritage Hotel, follow the mining trail and go fossicking for gold. Then again, I could drive west along the Pioneer Valley, then head to the sugarcane mill, the biggest one in the region, maybe tuck into a giant meat pie at the Pinnacle pub, or go forest flying through the rainforest at Finch Hatton. I reckon that one sounds like me. Mackay's Pioneer Valley is sprinkled with tiny towns and big plantations. Sugarcane's been growing here for generations. The valley's named for farmers who settled it in the 1800s. But cane isn't the only green thing you'll find out this way. It's an hour's drive through the valley to Finch Hatton Gorge, and right here is where I earn my very own rainforest wings.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dave. This is beautiful. This castle in the treetops is the base for forest flying at Finch Hatton. I feel like I'm in another world.
A little different.
Dave Lowe is gearing me up for an extraordinary rainforest experience. But first, we need to reach higher ground. 16 years ago, Dave Lowe and his wife Donna built a zip line through the rainforest on their property.
You can see the cable through that way.
Oh yeah. Gosh, this definitely would keep you fit. At the top of the climb is our launch pad, and Dave's going first, just in case I get into strife. All right, Dave, it was good exercise getting up here. How high are we?
Well, on the cable, highest point's about 25 metres.
Oh, wow. So we really are at the top of the rainforest canopy.
You're going to go right through the canopy.
Okay, see you at the other end.
This one, 230 metres long. How long it takes, it's up to you. You can control your own speed.
Such a buzz, but it turns out I'm not the only forest flyer.
Flying foxes in there, you're going to get eye level with them. There's quite a few still carrying young. So stop and have a look.
Up in the rainforest, about 20,000 bats are staring at me. Have a look. I've never been so close to this much wildlife in my entire life. They're everywhere! I could hang out with these guys all day, but a girl's got to keep moving. Oh my goodness! That is the most unreal feeling ever. Literally at eye height with thousands and thousands of bats. Oh, I'm gonna do it again! The experience doesn't finish at the end of the zip line. My 101 Things guide recommends hiking the National Park Trail through Finch Hatton Gorge, and I'm so glad I followed the tip. The track leads to Araluen Cascades and Waterhole, less than 30 minutes walk from the car park. And here's my tip, don't forget your togs and towel. Well, this is so refreshing and I'm loving the fact that I've got it all to myself. Now, it's one thing to come swimming here. Did you know you can also go scuba diving at Finch Hatton Gorge? Divers come from all over the world to explore the freshwater creeks of the gorge. There are fish and turtles to spot, but the real prize is a very cute, very curious looking little creature who lives in these parts. After the break, we have the most incredible platypus experience.
40.
Look, there's a little baby one there.
Yep,
oh,
there you
so
are.
Cute. Mornings can be misty in Youngalla. This mountain village sits 686 metres above sea level, west of Mackay. It's the entry to the Mackay Highlands Great Walk, a 50-kilometre trek. But I'm going nowhere near that far, just a few hundred metres from Youngalla's Broken River Mountain Resort. Resort co-owner Chris Eyre knows a lot about local wildlife.
The python, the ones that we've got in the forest here, normally grow to about 2.5 metres.
Not sure I want to run into Mr. Python, but I'm keen to see his cute neighbours. Oh my God, there's one right there!
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the large male.
Oh, my first
Isn't
platypus.
it? Marvellous. Yes, he's showing himself really well.
He's beautiful.
It's almost as though they've come on call.
It's dinner time, and the platypus are diving to feed on algae.
Because they swim with their eyes closed, they obviously have, it must be like a television brain, because they know exactly where they're going, they know exactly which rocks they've got to push up.
Wow.
This is the highest density that we've got at the moment because the babies are here.
People must absolutely love seeing this.
Oh, well, I've been here 15 years and I never get tired of it. I mean, they're such amazing animals. And the way they developed over millions of years. In my mind, they are probably one of the most unique creatures that we still have on Earth.
What an experience, and so close to my accommodation. The lodges at Broken River Mountain Resort are comfortable, roomy and fully self-contained. Cook up your own tucker or sit down to a great meal at Possum's Table Restaurant. I'd love to extend my compliments to the cook, but looks like he's got his hands full right now. So Brett here is the chef at the resort, and he's also a snake handler. Talk about multi-skilled. Goodbye pythons and platypus. Hello, Cocky. You'll find these beautiful black cockatoos at the Feathered Nest near Cuttable, north of Mackay.
This is Boss.
Who's this? Introduce
This
us.
is Boss. Boss is a rainbow lorikeet.
Gordon Lockie is a passionate collector of native birds and the host of this wildlife retreat. So this is for the guests or for the birds?
No, this is for the birds.
Oh my goodness.
It's a fresh salad of everything. Apples, oranges, grapes, watermelon at times. They get sweet potato, they get cauliflower, they get broccoli. We basically give them a smorgasbord and they pick and choose what they want. But our birds are all very healthy and the breeding is in the feeding, so that's what we do.
Like that. Gee, someone's excited for breakfast.
Yes, these are my babies.
They're huge.
Hello, everybody.
Gordon, how did you come to owning so many birds?
I had birds as a young kid, I had budgerigars and the like, and as a younger adult I had many parrots. But back then, and I'm talking 40 years ago and some, you couldn't legally have black cockatoos, and I've always been fascinated by them.
When laws changed, Gordon began collecting and breeding black cockatoos. Not an easy task.
He's doing his darndest to convince her that he's the man.
Oh, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's cute.
But she's not having a bar of it.
Trying his hardest. Come on. They're very boisterous, aren't they?
Yeah, highly intelligent. Highly
Huge
intelligent.
personalities.
Yes. And to get up close and personal with a
It's pretty
red cap
amazing, isn't
is
it?
pretty amazing, you know, particularly for international visitors.
And for me too. I've won their trust. Look how beautiful he is. And how beautiful is this? The Feathered Nest indulges guests with a 2-bedroom retreat that's the last word in luxury. And how's this? Press a button and your own personal aquarium and aviary is revealed. Fish, turtles, ducks, parrots. It's better than TV. After the show, how about a quiet soak? Now, that's my kind of bird bath. But you don't have to eat like a bird when staying at the Feathered Nest. Gordon can prepare gourmet meals or set you up with a barbie pack. Next up, Mackay's wildlife wonders keep on coming. Mackay is a true tropical city with warm days and balmy nights. But there are ways to keep cool. Catch the river breezes at Blue Water Quay, make a splash at Blue Water Lagoon, hit the floating slides at Mackay's Aqua Park, or chill out on a tropical island. Keswick Island is a highlight of Mackay's 101 Things to Do. Megaforce runs daily charters from the city marina to this drop of paradise, where you can scuba, snorkel and paddle the Great Barrier Reef waters. And if you can't fit it all into one day, stay over. You'll be bunking down with masses of blue butterflies that call Keswick home. The island has plenty of golden sand to explore too. But it's this mainland beach, 50 kilometres north of Mackay, that draws visitors from across the world. Cape Hillsborough National Park is a coastal headland of rugged rock and rainforest. The Nature Tourist Park here has shady campsites and oceanfront bungalows for couples and families with all the comforts. Plus, there are plenty of keep the kids happy attractions. Close to the tourist park, you'll find walking trails that weave through the shadowy rainforest, past volcanic outcrops and cool, dark caves. 20 minutes hike uphill delivers you to Andrews Point Lookout. Oh my goodness, look at the rainbow. You might not always jag a rainbow, but great views across to Wedge Island are a certainty. At low tide, you can actually walk all the way out to the island and explore rock pools with fish and coral, but I've got to say, I'm pretty happy perched up here. Last light of day is special here, but it's what happens at first light that I can't wait to experience. Dawn is breaking at Cape Hillsborough, and round here, the locals like to hit the beach early. Every morning, a mob of wallabies turn up on the sand, and tourists love it. Cape Hillsborough Nature Tourist Park's Ben Atherton never tires of sharing this sunrise encounter with guests.
The first step on the beach in the morning with no footprints, that first breath of fresh ocean air, and to look out at the kangaroos, to see the sun starting to poke its head up out the back, it's just a new lease on life every day.
Hello. And why do these little guys come onto the beach?
Oh, that is $1 million question. I get asked that so frequently. They take bites out of the mangrove pods. You'll often see them eating the seaweed. They lick the salt off the top of the sand. But the big question is why?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
We've got acres of grass up there, but for some reason they just make their way down here in the morning.
Wouldn't you?
Well, and exactly, why not?
It's a pretty good place to eat breakfast.
It is.
And the wallabies are happy to share their sandy brekkie table with a couple of ring-ins. This is Bridget and Emmy Lou, and they're two of the locals around here. They're eastern grey kangaroos, so they're a little bit bigger than the other guys, and aren't they just beautiful?
Bridget and Emmy Lou have been here for well over 10 years now. They were orphaned and raised by the park. They have a free option to roam wherever they want to, whenever they want to, but for some reason they will not leave the tourist park.
101 Things to Do in Mackay offers a ton plus one ideas for making the most of the region, and we've mentioned just 26 on the show. For more inspiration, go to mackayregion.com. And while you're on holiday in Mackay, why not stay at Ibis Mackay? The first 100 callers to quote Queensland Weekender when they book will receive a special rate of $109 per night, including breakfast for two and sparkling wine. One quick little reminder to add, and that's to bookmark our webpage. You can also keep up with us on Facebook and Instagram. 3 other great websites we frequently use are Queensland.com, RACQ and the Queensland Rail Travel websites. Before my flight back to Brizzy, I thought I'd pop in for a quick farewell drink at the Ibis Hotel's Turbulence Bar. Hope that doesn't mean I've got a bumpy flight home. Seriously though, I have had the best time in Mackay. I haven't quite managed to squeeze in all 101 things, but what a perfect excuse to come back. That's all from me today. See you next time on Queensland Weekender.